Welcome back to what Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M40 M43. It's the Tier 8 American SPG and we're located on the north spawn of Prokhorovka. And it's under the command of FendaBenda. Yes, you've probably just seen one of his replays with the M12. And this one, he's gone up one tier higher and now he's playing the M40 M43. And that's an 8-inch howitzer on the M40 there, so on the M40 chassis I should say. So it makes it an M43 Arty. Of course the chassis were interchangeable, it just depended on the gun that was actually mounted on it. And FendaBenda's gone straight into the aim looking for his first target. And I can tell you, I know that FendaBenda is quite good at blind shot kills. And I think there's going to be some blind shot action in this game. Skoda T50 moving up on the west side of the map, and I think he's doing some scouting for his team. Not a very good idea when you've been seen, and it's a lot more difficult to be unspotted if you are on this map now.
That was close.
Well, he gets a good hit, 334 hit points. Since the changes Wargaming made under version 1.0, they've actually made it more difficult for scouts to go unspotted on this map. You need to find new locations to hide. Because if you don't, then you're likely to get seen and plugged full of holes very early on in the game. Well, he fired a round in there, and I'm not sure if it actually did any damage. Not sure at all. There's an Object 430U on that centre area. Now, we've got a Wizzy 120, and he's in that little dip on the west side, which is actually quite a good place to do some active spotting. But he's stationary, and if he's stationary, he's going to get hit, and he has been. And he's lost 451 hit points because he was stationary. Very silly thing to do. You cannot stay stationary in that little dip. If you do, it's almost a death sentence. And he's just rocking backwards and forwards, you see. So he obviously is not tracked, he's just trying to spot for his team. But it's the wrong way. You can't spot unless you're in a bush and unseen. At least you can active spot, but obviously you need to keep moving. You must keep moving. And that kill goes to our Object 261. This is a tier 10 game. And FendaBenda is in a tier 8 Arty, so he's going to pick up a lot of XP from this game. Because he'll be hitting higher tier opponents all the time, unless of course they're tier 8s. Okay, so he's backing up a bit. Notice his position, which is sitting up on the railway line. Now that is quite a dangerous position normally, unless of course the enemy is still far enough away that they can't see you. It is quite an obvious position to look for though. Now he's aiming at an IS-7, that's a tier 10 opponent. He's still got a few seconds before he can shoot. But if they keep pummeling that IS-7 like that, he is going to get a lovely amount of that stun assistance. Well, he did get a hit. A direct hit. 446 hit points there. That is a definite direct hit. And he's moved location just a little to avoid counter battery. The IS-7 is still getting fired upon, although he's almost lost all his stun. And he is advancing. Now he's tempted to go for the Scorpion G. The Scorpion G is very lightly armoured because of course it's based on the chassis of the Panther. So obviously he would do more damage to the Scorpion. And the Scorpion obviously has got that big 128mm gun. He fires at the IS-7 and another direct hit. 436 hit points. He judged it just right when to fire to make sure that the IS-7 drove straight into the shell as it arrived. Got another enemy, a Carnarvon, up on top of the hill. And he's engaging our defenders, the 50 TP up there, as well as overlooking the village. So we really do need to put a round into it. Oh, and that was from the Object 261, who just wiped out the Carnarvon. We've got two team members in Arty's, a GW Tiger P and an Object 261. And that Object 261 appears to be doing rather well. But you'd expect that because if he's a tier 10 Arty player, he obviously knows his trade. Object 430U sitting at the ridge line and... No! Well, it appears the shell went wild and it didn't land anywhere near the object 430 because he's not even showing stun, but he has been taken out of the game by our GW Tiger P. Now we're looking for a counter battery here at the moment. He has gone to battle assistant mode to look. I would always say now overhead view is probably the easier way to locate the precise location of enemy Arty. So switch to overhead and cut out all visuals, and then you get a clear representation of where the Arty might be. Either that or he's going to do a blind shot. Oh, Wizzy 1111G FT. Now that's a tier 9 tank destroyer. Quite a deadly one at that. He's fired at where he thinks it's going to go, and he got a direct hit! It was right on target. The tank disappeared. Now the reason the reticule's bouncing around is he is moving as he's looking. He's just trying to find a new position to be in. M49L, the Liberté version. And there's an RU-251 running away from our back chat, who has just received some nasty hits. But the RU-251's gone down. The back chat got him. Now, trying to get a shot on that Liberté. He's just been stunned by one of our teammates. We can get around it. We'll help our teammate to score some extra XP. And I think we did there. Or at least we stunned him. You can see the yellow marks. He's been hit 2 times already by Arty, that M449L. You see, tank drivers complain about being hit by Arty all the time, but the reason they keep getting hit is because they sit out in the open and they make themselves stationary. It makes it very easy for Arty to whack them. They've really got their own selves to blame because they're not in cover, they're not moving in an unpredictable manner. You really do need to think Arty to be Arty, and that way you know exactly where not to be.
That was close.
And that was a near miss. 43 hit points on the Liberté. It's the only way to avoid being hit by Arty, to know how Arty works. To play Arty yourself so you can understand where you can be safe and where you cannot be safe. Okay, we've got a lurver up on the hill, hiding behind the bushes, but he is being seen and he's being fired on. Now we've lost sight of him temporarily. We know general location because we can see shells going in. FendaBenda's having a quick look for counter battery. Looking for the tracer. Can't see anything. Looking over on the west side of the map. Anything? Nothing yet. One of the good features of version 1.0 is you can hear the pronounced whoosh of a shell outgoing if you are looking in the right direction. There's a T-49 circling our back chat. He's been tracked. Strafe circling, as Jingles once has just put it. And the back chat goes down to the enemy Arty. That would tend to indicate... Well, we did damage the T-49. That would tend to indicate that the enemy Arty is at the other end. He's probably near the railway line, because the back chat was actually hit by the M40. Yep, he's looking in the right place, I think. I think he's somewhere in there. Right, we've got that lurver again, up on top of the hill. He's backed away, now behind the bushes. Other Arties are firing in. And now we've got that Wizzy 1111G FT. Got him side on. Oh dear. Direct hit, 526. That must have gone right into the side of the fighting compartment. So that's another 526. We're at 2.3k damage already. There's the enemy Arty. It was over. Oh, well, I think they've been damaged. He switched back immediately to the hill. The enemy Arty was where we thought they were. And that Wizzy 111G FT is trying to defend against their spawn point. This is an encounter battle, strangely enough, and that's going to be short. Yes, it was.
That was close.
And the Wizzy 111 goes down, and that's the last kill of the game. So it's all over. Sadly, we didn't get any kills, but we did get an Ace Tanker in the M40, M43. In the last game that we saw from FendaBenda, the M12, he got an Ace Tanker. In this one, he's also got an Ace Tanker, but he also picked up a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 12, and he got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else. At least 6 tanks subsequently taken out by others, and in fact, FendaBenda didn't get any kills at all during this game, but he certainly touched 7 of the enemy, because we can see that on the front page on the personal score. If we look at team score, we can see that FendaBenda actually came second on damage. It was the TVP T5051. That's a very dangerous medium tank. He managed to pick up a Pascucci's medal, a high caliber, and a top gun for getting 5,666 hit points of damage and 7 kills, would you believe it? FendaBenda managed 3,143, and then came the Object 430U with 2,659 hit points. When it comes to kills, obviously it's the TVP who managed to get the highest amount. He got 7. The Batchat that was taken out by the M40 was being circle strafed by the T49. He managed to get 4 kills. Then the Object 261 got 2 kills. I'm afraid FendaBenda didn't get any kills at all, but that doesn't matter because he was top of the table when it came to base XP with 1,182, and the reason for that will become apparent on the next page. He fired 12 shots, got 5 direct hits, 5 penetrations, 7 splash, damage of 3,143 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 7 of the enemy but didn't get any kills, and here's the reason he got that the highest base XP, 2,327 stun assistance damage off 12 stuns. If you add that to that, that's why his XP is so high. And of course, the fact is that he was a tier 8 tank, a tier 8 Arty, firing at tier 10 opponents, whereas the TVP T5051 is a tier 10 medium tank. So that's why he scored less XP. Now, FendaBenda earned 36,729 credits for the battle, and after ammunition resupply, and the ammo, well, it is 8-inch shells, so they are more expensive. So after ammo costs, he actually only came away with 14,289 credits, but it's still a good score. He got 1 bond for the Confederate. He picked up 1,182 XP, base XP, and there was no multiplier, so that's all the experience he took away. But yeah, he had no problem really at all. In fact, he was getting some lovely direct hits on the enemy. A few shots went wayward, and obviously we don't know why, but that may be down to just RNG. But it shows that FendaBenda can translate his skill across the different Arties. He can do it on the M12, he can do it on the M40, M43 as well. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.